It is reported that Chinese companies are conducting surveys on the Muse-Kyaukpyu railway section in Myanmar, on the China-Myanmar Railway. The Kyaukpyu Muse Railway project has been put on hold and restarted many times since it was proposed. The conduct of this survey will usher in a new breakthrough for the project. The China-Myanmar Railway is a strategic passage leading directly to the Indian Ocean. The railway was originally planned to start from Kunming, China, pass through Dali and Baoshan, enter Myanmar from Ruweli Port, and then follow the route of Lashio and Mandalay to Kyaukpyu, a deep water port in the Indian Ocean, with a total length of approximately 1,900 kilometers. In this video, let us learn more about it. The idea of China-Myanmar Railway has been around for a long time. As early as 2006, the project began to be brewed and the media began to publicly report it. But it was not until May 2011 that China and Myanmar reached a memorandum, and the two sides would build the Muse-Kyaukpyu Railway according to the BOT model. The design speed is 160 km per hour, 200 km per hour is reserved, with a total investment of $20 billion. China is responsible for most of the investment and has obtained the 50-year operation right. According to the agreement signed by both parties, the construction of the railway in Myanmar was originally planned to start in June 2014, with a construction period of 5.5 years. However, in the early stages of construction, Myanmar announced a suspension of implementation due to popular opposition, and eventually cancelled the project. In fact, the main reason why Myanmar cancelled the Zhongmuse to Kyaukpyu railway project was because of Japan's interference. In the first half of 2014, the China-dominated Pan-Asian Railway entered a critical moment. At this time, Japan suddenly announced in March of that year that it would provide free assistance of 7.8 billion yen to Myanmar to help build railways and other facilities, inducing Myanmar to suspend the China-Myanmar Railway project. In this regard, the then Japanese Foreign Minister Kishida made it clear that it was to contain China. The road section in China is progressing smoothly. Among them, the Kunming-Dali section was newly built on the basis of the existing Chengdu-Kunming-Guangda Railway, with a design speed of 200 km per hour. The entire line was completed and opened to traffic in January 2018. The Dali-Baoshan Railway has a design speed of 140 km per hour and will be put into operation in July 2022. The section from Baoshan to Ruweli is affected by the progress of the Jaligangshan Tunnel with a total length of about 34.5 kilometers. Construction started at the end of 2015, and currently about 50% of the work has been completed, and the opening time still needs to wait. To this end, a new railway line between Dali-Linsong-Qingshui was added in China. Among them, the section from Dali to Linsong has a design speed of 160 km per hour and will be completed and open to traffic at the end of December 2020. The total length of the river section from Linsong to Qingshui is about 176 kilometers, with a design speed of 160 kilometers per hour and a total investment of about 20.3 billion yuan. Preliminary work such as line survey has been started and construction is expected to start in 2024. With the smooth progress of the China-Laos Railway, especially the demonstration effect brought about by its opening, China and Myanmar have reached a new consensus on the China-Myanmar Railway. At present, the feasibility study work has been completed for the section from Muse to Mandalay. The feasibility study work has been started for the section from Mandalay to Kyaukpyu, And the section from Qingshui to Lashio is also on the agenda. The China Railway Second Institute is conducting surveys on the section from Muse-Kyaukpyu in Myanmar, which marks a new breakthrough for the railway project. According to the original plan, the Muse to Mandalay section was planned to start construction in 2025, with a construction period of 3 years. Of course, the start of railway construction in Myanmar still needs to face many obstacles. These obstacles are what China's railways will inevitably face when going global. First, there is the issue of political instability in the host country. Once there is a change of government in the host country, it will often overturn the previous government's major policies. This has happened during the advancement of projects such as the China-Thailand Railway and the East Malaysia Railway. Secondly, there is the issue of land acquisition and demolition. Many countries in Southeast Asia have implemented land privatization. Land acquisition and demolition are difficult and costly. Failure to complete the land acquisition task on time will also affect the progress of the project. For example, the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway was delayed by 4 years due to land acquisition, demolition and other issues, and the cost increased by about $1.3 billion. Finally, there is the issue of the intervention of external forces. The China-Myanmar Railway is a strategic channel for China to bypass the Strait of Malacca and directly connect to the Indian Ocean. It is something that maritime powers do not want to see. Therefore, they will inevitably intervene to disrupt the situation. This is also the main reason why the China-Myanmar Railway cannot start construction as planned in 2014. In addition, Myanmar is also facing problems in northern Myanmar. What I have to say is that Myanmar was a failed state among the independent countries during World War II. The overall construction of a nation-state failed. The central government of Myanmar only directly governs 7 provinces, but it is powerless to control the other 7 states. According to the plan, the China-Myanmar Railway needs to pass through Shan State, especially the northern Myanmar region. The situation in this region is unstable all year round. Building a railway is full of risks, not to mention that external forces are also eyeing it. The good news is that China and Myanmar have joined forces to deal with the problems in northern Myanmar. In this process, warlords of all sizes in northern Myanmar also saw that the core interests of the northern powers must not be violated, otherwise the consequences would be serious. You know, the China-Myanmar oil and gas pipeline also passes through northern Myanmar. Since it was put into operation, all factions in northern Myanmar have not dared to touch it. Therefore, there is reason to believe that after the situation in northern Myanmar stabilizes, the construction of the Muse to Mandalay Railway will be put on the agenda. After all, the original plan was to build it in 2025. After the completion of this railway from Kunming, Yunnan to Kyaukpyu, it will allow China to reach the Indian Ocean directly from the inland without passing through the South China Sea and the Strait of Malacca. The completion of the railway is of great strategic significance, but it will also have a negative impact on the interests of some countries. First of all, the completion of the China-Myanmar Railway will have an impact on Russian energy exports. We know that Russia, as a world resource power, mainly relies on energy exports to obtain economic income. Affected by the Ukraine crisis, European countries have reduced their energy imports from Russia. So Russia turned its attention to China, the huge eastern market. However, the China-Myanmar Railway allows China to import oil, natural gas and other energy from the Middle East more directly and cheaply. By then, the bargaining power of Russia's exports to China will be weakened. At the same time, China also prefers to settle trade in yuan rather than rubles. Secondly, the China-Myanmar Railway bypasses the Strait of Malacca, which will seriously affect Singapore, which relies on its geographical location to profit. As an important shipping and financial center, Singapore can earn hundreds of millions in revenue from Chinese merchant ships every year. After the completion of the China-Myanmar Railway, many trades from China's inland areas to Europe and Africa will switch to this land route and no longer pass through Singapore. At the same time, its status as a financial center will also be weakened. We still remember that when China invested in Gwadar Port in Pakistan, Singapore strongly opposed it. It is important to note that India will strongly oppose the China-Myanmar Railway. India has regarded Myanmar as its sphere of influence since the British colonial period and does not want other countries, especially China, to expand its influence in the region. The China-Myanmar Railway will undoubtedly weaken India's strategic dominance in the Indochina Peninsula. Of course, the biggest beneficiary of the China-Myanmar Railway is China itself. This railway will not only significantly improve China's strategic energy security, but also promote the development and opening up of China's western region. China is now the world's second largest economy and is gradually moving towards the world's largest power. This naturally aroused the wariness of the United States. We know that the United States has always been good at uniting small countries to contain the rising world's second most powerful country. The further enhancement of China's strength after the completion of the China-Myanmar Railway is bound to make Washington uneasy. Among the Indochina countries, Myanmar will be another beneficiary. The China-Myanmar Railway will definitely drive Myanmar's economic and social development, and also enhance China's influence in Myanmar. The domestic situation in Myanmar is currently turbulent. If it can develop rapidly under the leadership of China, it will make the military more confident in promoting democracy and people's livelihood. Of course, some forces are also worried about China's excessive influence. This requires China and Myanmar to strengthen communication and coordination. Ultimately, the oil-producing countries in the Middle East are also beneficiaries of the China-Myanmar Railway. This railway opened a new channel for bulk commodity transportation. By then, Middle Eastern suppliers will be able to more flexibly allocate the sales ratio between China and South Asia markets. At the same time, scale effects will also be formed to further reduce transportation costs. This will undoubtedly increase the export revenue of Middle Eastern oil-producing countries. To sum up, the construction of the China-Myanmar Railway is of great significance, not only affecting the regional economic pattern, but also having a profound impact on future geopolitics. China must fully consider all factors and strengthen communication and coordination with relevant countries to ensure the smooth completion of this important channel. The China-Myanmar Railway is the common interest and desire of China and Myanmar, and is also the development need of Southeast Asia and the Asian continent. The China-Myanmar Railway can not only promote economic cooperation and cultural exchanges between China and Myanmar, but also provide Southeast Asian countries with a convenient, safe, and efficient transportation channel. The China-Myanmar Railway can also provide a new cooperation platform for countries along the Indian Ocean, and enhance their mutual trust and friendship with China and Southeast Asian countries. Therefore, the China-Myanmar Railway should start construction as soon as possible to overcome various difficulties and resistance. China and Myanmar should strengthen communication and coordination, reach agreement on project details, and sign a formal agreement. Both sides should also strengthen publicity and education to eliminate public misunderstandings and concerns and win public support and understanding. Both parties should also strengthen safety and environmental protection to ensure the smooth progress and sustainable development of the project. At the same time, China should also actively communicate and cooperate with other Southeast Asian countries to promote the overall construction of the Pan-Asian Railway. China should respect the sovereignty and interests of all countries and discuss and build and share the Trans-Asian Railway with all countries based on the principles of equality, openness, inclusiveness, and mutual benefit. China should demonstrate the advantages and value of the Pan-Asian Railway to all countries, and let them realize the important role of the Pan-Asian Railway in promoting regional economic integration, social stability, and people's well-being. In short, the China-Myanmar Railway is a project of historical and strategic significance, as well as a project full of opportunities and challenges. As long as China, Myanmar, and other Southeast Asian countries work together, strengthen their confidence, and overcome difficulties, they will surely be able to build this necessary road connecting the Indian Ocean. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.